So here's a question for you. Are you just looking for a job right now? Or are you really aiming for the right job? You know, that place where you can genuinely thrive, make a real impact.
Mm,
Because honestly, that difference, it feels more critical now than ever. I mean, look at the stats. Gen Z folks, they're switching jobs like
mhm.
134% more often than before the pandemic.
Wow, 134%.
That
That's significant.
It really is. And it's not just Gen Z employee engagement
Yeah.
overall. Across the U.S., it's hit a decade low. We're talking only about 31% of people feeling truly engaged at work.
Yeah, those numbers, they aren't just abstract figures, are they? They paint a pretty clear picture of, well, a lot of people not being satisfied where they are.
Exactly.
And, for anyone starting out in tech or even looking to make a move, these stats, they should be a wake-up call. They really underscore how vital it is to be proactive
Proactive in what way, exactly?
in identifying what your ideal work environment actually looks like, and then making really informed decisions about your career. It's not just about dodging a bad statistic, right? It's about strategically setting yourself up for, long-term happiness, growth, and feeling like you're actually contributing something meaningful. As a professor teaching this stuff, I see it as step one.
Yeah.
Absolutely fundamental.
Right, setting that foundation. And that's really the heart of our deep dive today, isn't it?
It is.
We're pulling insights from Chapter 8 of Dr. Joseph H.Schuessler's book, Launching Your Tech Career. And our mission here is pretty straightforward. Help you connect the dots. Connect what you know about yourself, your skills, your values, how you like to work with what you find out about potential employers.
Mm-hmm.
They want to help you understand everything from the company's vibe, its culture, to the real chances for growth they offer. The whole idea is to set you up for lasting success in this, let's face it, very dynamic tech field.
Yeah, and for students in courses like BCIS 43385, professional development, this isn't just abstract theory, it's a practical framework. And honestly, for anyone early in their MIS, CIS, or IT career, this is crucial guidance. It helps you navigate a market that's, pretty competitive. Make sure you don't just grab any job, but land somewhere you can really excel and build something fulfilling.
Okay, so if you listening find this valuable, we really think you will maybe share it. Send it to a classmate, a colleague, someone who might get something out of it.
Or even just take a few minutes after we're done, to think about how these ideas fit into your own journey. We'll actually give you some specific things to reflect on later.
Great. So let's unpack this first big idea. Not every good job is good for you.
Right.
Sounds simple, but wow, it's got layers, especially in IT.
Uh-huh.
The goal isn't just finding any tech job that pays well. It's finding that specific one where the company culture, the work itself, just clicks with your preferences, your aspirations. It's easy to forget that a job everyone says is great might actually be a terrible fit for you personally.
That's absolutely spot on. And when we talk about company culture, what do we really mean? It's basically, it's how work gets done in a place.
Sure.
It's that mix of shared values, the unspoken rules, the behaviors, the norms. It's like the company's personality. It's DNA. You could have, say, a very formal culture maybe in a big bank's IT department, strict hierarchies, lots of process.
Right.
Or you could have a super relaxed, agile tech startup. Think hoodies, open offices, maybe a bit chaotic, but very collaborative. And the key thing, like Indeed.com often points out, is there's no single best culture.
No one size fits all.
Exactly. The best culture is simply the one that fits you best. And whether it aligns or not, that has a huge impact, not just on your happiness, but your actual productivity, where your career goes long term.
Okay, so could you maybe paint a picture? What does that look like in practice for someone in, say, MIS or IT? What's a good fit versus a bad fit?
Sure. Let's say you're someone who really thrives on creativity, on autonomy. You love tinkering with new tech, maybe contributing to open source. You'd probably flourish in a startup environment, right? Something agile, encourages experimentation, celebrates trying new things. Think of a small software company where engineers get a lot of freedom.
Makes sense.
But flip side, maybe you prefer clear processes, defined roles, structured career ladders. Perhaps you're aiming to be an IT project manager. In that case, a large established company with, say, a mature ITIL framework. That might feel much more comfortable, more productive for you. Think about the IT division of a big telecom company's stability, clear paths. It's all about knowing what kind of environment fuels your best work.
Okay, that clarifies things.
Yeah.
But how do you figure that out? How do you pinpoint what that best fit environment actually is for you? I mean, we probably all have a vague idea, but getting specific, especially when you're starting out, that feels tough.
It does, and honestly, it starts with some serious self-reflection. And that can be the hardest part. You've got to ask yourself, When have I done my best work? Where was I? What was going on?
And not just what you liked, but where you were most productive.
Exactly. Productive, engaged, happiest. Think back. Class projects, did you love digging into the code solo? Or were you the one organizing the team? That tells you something about autonomy versus collaboration or leadership.
Uh-huh.
What about bosses? Did you thrive with a hands-off mentor who just trusted you? Or did you prefer a supervisor who gave detailed instructions, regular check-ins? Think about the physical setting, too. Bustling open office, quiet cube, remote. What works for you?
And values, too, right? Like company values.
Absolutely critical. What really matters to you? Innovation, diversity, integrity, work-life balance, a big one in IT to avoid burnout. And what about the mission? Does the industry or the product itself matter? Would you feel proud working on, say, healthcare tech versus maybe financial algorithms?
These are great prompts for digging deep. And I guess looking back at past experiences, even small ones, is the key.
Totally. Analyze those past gigs, internships, capstone projects, even part-time jobs. You start seeing patterns. Maybe you took the lead on a tough database project in class and loved it. Well, like neo-blog.caliber.com suggests, that probably means you value having decision-making power.
Or the opposite, maybe.
Or the opposite. Maybe you did an internship at a chaotic startup, worked insane hours, felt drained. That's a huge clue that maybe structure and work-life balance are way up on your priority list. You have to be really honest with yourself. Only you know what environment truly brings out your best.
And the chapter 8, actually gives a specific exercise for this, doesn't it? Something practical listeners can do.
It does, yeah, a reflection prompt. It suggests taking just 10 minutes, write down 3 times, jobs, projects, whatever, where you felt genuinely happiest and most productive. Then, for each one, list the factors. What made it good? Supportive manager, flexible hours, challenging tasks, creative freedom, a mission you believed in, working with a great team. List them out.
And then look for.
Look for the common threads. What pops up across those 3 experiences? That exercise. It's like building your own personal blueprint for your ideal culture. Super powerful.
That sounds incredibly useful.
So beyond just your personal style, you also got to think about industry fit and trends, because different industries just operate differently, don't they?
Right, like tech versus finance versus healthcare IT.
Exactly. An IT role in a fast-paced fintech startup is going to feel way different than an IT role in a hospital system, even if the technical skills overlap. So when you're researching industries, there are a few key things to look at.
Okay, what should people be zeroing in on?
Well, first, think about growth and stability. Is the industry expanding, like AI or cloud computing? Or is it maybe more mature, perhaps more prone to ups and downs? Government IT, for instance, tends to be very stable, great benefits, predictable paths, but maybe not always the absolute cutting edge.
Whereas a startup might be exciting, but riskier.
Precisely. And as Indeed.com often points out, the financial health of the company and its industry, that directly impacts your job security, the resources available, the whole vibe. Second, consider workplace trends. Big one now is remote or hybrid work.
Right.
Huge. If that flexibility is key for you as, say, a developer or analyst, you'll want to look at industries like tech, consulting, maybe cybersecurity. They often embrace it. But IT in manufacturing or on-site hospital support probably requires more face time.
Makes sense. What else?
And third, think about the values and mission of the industry itself. Some sectors are really focused on social impact, think nonprofits, green energy tech. Others might be driven by speed, innovation, market disruption like e-commerce or certain areas of finance. If, say, sustainability is a deep personal value for you, working for a renewable energy company might feel way more fulfilling, even if the IT challenges are similar elsewhere.
So it's not just what you do, but where you do it, in what context. Staying up on industry news seems vital then.
Absolutely non-negotiable. You need to know the trends. Look at Bureau of Labor Statistics projections, for instance. They show huge growth expected in cybersecurity, cloud roles, data analytics. That tells you where opportunities are likely to be, where companies are investing, where you might find dynamic environments that value learning. The industry really shapes the day-to-day reality of the job.
Okay, let's shift to a really concrete example of this culture fit idea, Zappos. Their story's pretty famous, right?
Oh yeah, Zappos, the online shoe place. They became almost legendary for their culture. So much so they had this policy called the offer.
Right, or they paid people to quit. It sounds crazy.
It does sound crazy, but they offered new hires, I think it was $2,000 back then, to leave after the initial training if they felt Zappos wasn't the right place for them. Business Insider covered it a lot. The late CEO, Tony Hsieh, His whole idea was to filter out anyone who wasn't genuinely bought into their, very unique, customer-obsessed, maybe slightly weird, fun culture.
He wanted people who truly wanted to be there.
Exactly. He said it was to make sure those who stayed truly believed this is the right place for them.
It's an extreme way to test for cultural fit, for sure.
And the really wild part, what was the result?
Hardly anyone took the money. Something like only 2% of new hires actually left, which means a whopping 98% felt, yeah, this culture works for me. It wasn't about skills at that point. It was purely about, do I fit here? Does this feel right?
Wow, 98%. That says so much. Okay, most companies aren't going to pay you to leave.
Haha, probably not. But the lesson still holds, right? Especially in IT. If the company vibe, the values, the way they work just doesn't match with you, you're probably not going to be happy or stick around long.
Absolutely. And the flip side is just as powerful. When you find that place where the culture does resonate with you, where it feels right, you're just so much more likely to thrive, to grow, to do great work. Think about it. If you're a developer who loves collaborative coding, pair programming, open communication, landing in a rigid, siloed dev shop, it's going to be frustrating.
Total mismatch.
Total mismatch. But find a company that actually fosters that collaboration. You'll probably excel. It benefits everyone. You get job satisfaction, the company gets better productivity and keeps good people. It's a win-win.
Okay, so you've done this self-reflection. You have an idea of your ideal environment. Now the practical part. How do you actually figure out a company's culture before you're working there? How do you investigate?
Right. Put on your detective hat. Use those analytical skills from your tech training. First, obvious step, check their website. Mission statement, core values, do they actually publish them? And more importantly, do they resonate with you? If they talk about innovation, data-driven decisions, continuous learning, and those things genuinely excite you as an IT pro, that's a good sign.
And if they seem generic or off?
Pay attention to that feeling. It's data. What else? Look for clues about work-life balance. Or the opposite, right? A culture of overwork. Does their careers page, their social media constantly talk about the hustle, grinding, burning the midnight oil?
Yeah, some places almost brag about that.
They do. And hey, maybe that appeals to some people, but for others, it's a giant red flag. Alternatively, do they highlight things like wellness programs, support for getting certifications, maybe community involvement? Those tell a different story.
Good signals to look for. What else?
Think about size and structure. A small tech startup. Probably a close-knit team. You might wear lots of hats, do some coding, some sysadmin stuff, maybe database work. Big plus for broad experience. But maybe less formal training.
Exactly. Less formal training, maybe less defined career paths initially. Now a big enterprise, usually more structured IT roles, tons of resources, clear training paths. But you might also find more bureaucracy, maybe feel more like a cog in a big machine, working in a more specialized silo. Neither is inherently better, right? It's about which style fits you and what you want now.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about matching your style to their structure.
Mm-hmm.
So we've really dug deep into defining that ideal work environment today, which, as you said, is the foundation from Chapter 8. But it's worth reminding everyone the chapter in Dr. Schuessler's guide covers more ground, right? It's a whole roadmap.
Oh, absolutely. This is just the starting point. From here, the chapter gets into the nitty-gritty of researching potential employers, and it goes way beyond just their official website.
Like using LinkedIn, Glassdoor reviews, seeing what current and former employees really say, looking at company tech blogs, maybe even their GitHub repositories. You can learn a lot about their actual tech practices, how they work, what they value by looking at that stuff.
See how they really operate.
Exactly. Then it guides you through evaluating job offers. And again, it's not just the salary number, it's the whole package. Benefits, yes, but also realistic work-life balance expectations. Chances to learn new skills, which is crucial in tech, the company's reputation. You weigh all that against your goals.
And then actually making the decision.
Right. Making informed career decisions. It emphasizes aligning your choices with your long-term vision. And also, importantly, trusting your gut. If something feels off about an offer or a company culture, even if it looks good on paper, pay attention to that feeling.
That's huge.
Yeah. And finally, it even helps you put together what it calls a comprehensive self-inventory portfolio. Basically, gathering all this self-reflection, your skills, values, goals, ideal environment notes, into one place to use as your guide.
Like a personal career compass.
That's a great way to put it. So yeah, while we focused on finding the right environment today because it's so foundational, all these other pieces in the chapter, they're just as vital for launching and growing a successful tech career. That initial awareness informs everything else.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive. Thanks so much for walking us through how to find that truly ideal work environment.
My pleasure. And again, folks, if this was helpful, please do share it with someone else who might be navigating their career path.
Yeah, pass it along.
And definitely take that moment for yourself. Reflect on those questions we talked about. What does your ideal environment look like? Taking ownership is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. What's one specific, concrete action you can take this week? Maybe to understand your own ideal environment better, or to do some deeper digging into a potential employer's culture. Just one small step.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, your career is a journey, and every step you take today builds the future you imagine. Keep learning, keep growing, and go make it happen.